I'm tired of the Northern. I thought you was gonna say he went to Northern. Right. So it's people who know you.
That's right.
And they went to black, white. People know you.
Right.
I know your dad worked in the school system with my dad. My dad passed in March, Pastor Lewis Mays. But him, when I met your dad, he let me know that he knew my dad, and they worked up at the open school, I think, together.
Yeah, he was 37 years in the schools. He started at Bryant, went to Emerson, open school, Flint Northern for many years through the 80s.
And my dad was working in the school system at the open school, Emerson, Northern. So they knew each other.
Right.
That helped me out. I was like, oh, Mr. Walling, no, Mr. Mays. Now they work together. Now here we are bumping into each other in this political arena. Two different generations.
Right.
So it's people who know you.
Right.
That's one of the obstacles, Dayne. That's why I asked you to come on this show, because I want people to know you. After you left Central, that's when this Rhodes Scholar thing came?
Yeah, I went to Michigan State.
I went to Michigan State.
I see you got on green and white tonight.
That's right. I just got off of work. You got on a suit. I'm working at GM. But I went to Michigan State. I was in Holmes Hall, Wilson Hall. I
was in Case. So we were in South Complex.
So we are Spartans. We got that in common. So after Michigan State, then where?
Well, that's when I had that Rhodes Scholarship, and that's free college education at the University of Oxford. So I spent.
Where is Oxford at?
That's in England.
In England?
Right.
So a scholarship from the United States took you to England?
That's right.
The scholarship came as a result of Michigan State or Central? Which one?
Michigan State.
Okay, so see, Michigan State is good.
Right, you get nominated as a senior, and you go through an interview process, go through an interview at the university level, at the state level, at the regional level. Mine was in Chicago,
so,
and then you get lucky and you get to go.
So you knew you were smart.
I knew I was smart enough to apply.
80 people or so worldwide.
That's right.
Okay, let's get off of that. We know you got some sense. We know you can think logically. Okay, so now after you finished all the education, because you got degrees now.
Right.
Which degrees you get?
Right. So I got my BA in Social Relations from Michigan State, did a BA in Modern History from the University of Oxford, and then I stayed on an extra year, and I got a master's, an MA in Urban Studies from the University of London.
Urban Studies. That takes me to what I already know that I want you to let the people know.
Yeah.
You worked in the mayor's office in Washington, D.C.
That's right.
That was a predominantly black city.
Yeah, you know what they call Washington, D.C.
What they call it, Chocolate City.
That's right.
So if you were in Washington, D.C., working in the mayor's office, a lot of black folks.
Yeah, there's a big difference between friends of mine that went to work up on Capitol Hill for Congress and somebody like me who went down and worked for the District of Columbia government. When I came back from England, I thought to myself, what would be the hardest job for a young white guy in Washington, D.C., and I thought, help turn the city around. So joined that administration, Mayor Tony Williams, who was elected mayor when Marion Barry did not run for re-election, and was a part of that team.
So is Tony Williams the mayor of Washington now?
He was until this past November. He did not run for re-election. Then council member Adrian Fenty was elected mayor. So he's mayor now, Fenty.
So you got some experience working in the city hall or the mayor's office or with the mayor in Washington, D.C.
That's
Would
right.
that mayor know you?
Yes.
If I called and said Dayne Walling is running for mayor and I talked to that former mayor of Washington, D.C., he would know you.
Yeah, he sure would.
What department did you work in?
Well, I was 6 months in the office of the chief financial officer. That was part of the Office of Grants Management. It was a big office of about 50 people who both monitored grants, applied for new grants, and provided some technical assistance to other agencies. A group of us got moved from that office. 5 of us got put under the supervision of one of the mayor's own senior policy directors. We created the Office of Partnerships and Grants Development, in the executive office of the mayor.
So you know something about grants.
That's right.
If you win the mayor of the city of Flint, we can count on you to have a good grant department.
That's right. Now in D.C., we brought in $25 million a year, the six of us working together.
6 of y'all worked
right.
to bring in $25 million in grant money to the city of Washington,
That's
D.C.
right.
You think you could bring in $4-5 million here?
You got the number right there. 3, 4, 5. That's for
what
a city
gonna
of
be
Flint
shooting
size. We'll be able to accomplish
What
that
would
every
that
year.
grant money be used for?
Well, primarily community development. That's what we need the most. We need these dollars to get our neighborhood businesses restarted. I was out in Grand Blanc just the other night, and you see the kind of shopping centers that they're putting up down there. We got to bring some of those kind of improvements right here into Flint's neighborhoods.
You done struck a nerve with me, Dave. Neighborhood businesses.
Right.
I've talked to you about neighborhood business since I've met you because I have to decide who am I going to vote for, Dayne Walling or Williamson. I'm going to probably vote Walling. I will be voting Walling. But anyway, I shouldn't do that on this Eric May show. I can do and say what I want. Williamson, come on the show and convince me to vote Williamson versus Walling. It ain't too late. People picking sides right now. This guy is impressing me. Neighborhood businesses. When we talk neighborhood businesses, we talking about abandoned commercial buildings that can be rehabbed like a house and open up a business. That's one form, right?
That's right.
And also, Dayne, I don't know if anybody else has talked to you about this, but I've clearly talked to you about the real neighborhood business, which is a home business.
Right.
In the city of Flint, you've got an ordinance. 25% of a person's house can be used as a business. You fill out the $13 certificate or whatever it costs with the county clerk. I've got a business at 125 East Russell Street. Mays and Goodman Enterprises. I'm a political consultant. I do real estate. I make money out of my home. I want to see neighborhood businesses not only be the commercial storefronts and the commercial buildings, but I want to see home businesses get some block grant money. $5,000 for a computer to set up in the home. If it's not $5,000 for the computer, but maybe $1,000, $2,000, some revolving loans. Do you follow me in that logic? Do you believe Flint can educate and create economic development from the home, train and educate, as well as the commercial area? Yes,
and these are the entry-level jobs that people of all ages, but especially our young people, are looking for. They can't all fit into some big corporate hierarchy, but they can take a job working as a cashier or working stock at a neighborhood operation. I was in front of the Eastside Business Association just this past week, and I took this to the next level. I said that I'll run a campaign out of the mayor's office called Buy Flint First, because the bottom line is we've got to be spending our money in this community. We have to have neighborhood businesses, but then we as residents of Flint, we've got to go to those establishments and spend our money. We've got millions of dollars in groceries alone that we're all buying outside of the city of Flint. We want those establishments in the city so that our youth can have those jobs. People in Flint can make the profits and income from running those establishments, and then we get to do that shopping right in our own neighborhoods.
We've talked about a grocery store in the middle of the north side, maybe one or two before for years. I know the preachers and others talked about it. You see something like that as something you would like to make happen?
Yeah, if we took a percentage of these dollars that we're spending outside of the city limits, and we even brought that in to by 10 or 20 more percent, we'd be talking about $20 million more dollars in spending right straight into the Flint economy. We could probably have 3 to 4 mid-sized supermarkets. We don't need those giant warehouse operations. With the ability to transport these goods and store these goods with today's technology, you can have a wonderful mid-sized marketplace that can offer all the things that people want.
And there's enough empty buildings to do that.
Yeah, the space is there.
I know we got an old Hamady Brothers used to be on the corner of like Black and Saginaw. I think Mr. Bates owned that building right now.